Thank you for listening to We Speak Dispatch, sponsored by your friends at Watson Consoles. To show our appreciation to unsung heroes of public safety, we're offering the Dispatch community a free gift. Visit watsonconsoles.com/badge to claim yours. That's watsonconsoles.com/badge.
3, 2, 1. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to We Speak Dispatch. If you can't tell, we've been having a blast since we jumped on and started recording, but today we thought we'd come to you and we're going to wish you all a happy Telecommunications Week, and we're going to talk about Telecommunications Week and ways that you can celebrate Telecommunications Week and what it means to everybody. So we've got our usual folks here. We got Doug over there. We got Doug over there. We got Leslie. We got John, and then we have Joe. So yes, it's a full house today. So I'm not good at hosting, as we can tell. So it's always a crapshoot when I host. So Joe, why don't you kick it off and tell everybody why you have a Christmas tree with you?
They said that we were going to be celebrating National Telecommunicator Week. Well, the truth is, it's my goddaughter's birthday as well. And so I'm at my parents' house, and my stepmom is a big Christmas fan, and she likes to quilt, and I'm in a quilting room getting ready for a birthday party. But I want to also say that one of the ideas you could use for National Telecommunicator Week is to celebrate Christmas in April. Give each other gifts, decorate your comm center, and bring Christmas live to you.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. I thought you were going to say, you said we're going to have a celebration, and I thought you were going to say, oh, I thought we were celebrating Christmas, and that's not really what we're celebrating. So
that's awesome.
So anyway. Merry Christmas 911.
There you go. Christmas in April. Lovely.
Yes. Okay, so, John.
I'm so lost. This is going to require a lot of editing, folks.
Yes, there'll be a lot of cuts. You'll see this on the, it'll be just skipping completely. Skip.
This is why I can't host.
Oh, God.
Okay, John.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So how do you like to celebrate Communications Week? Telecommunications Week.
Telecommunicate. Well, we like to throw it out to the squad itself and just hear what they have to say as far as like, hey guys, what do you want to do? This is our week, not only as a center, but also as a squad. You know, we're a subunit of the big family kind of thing. So usually 2 or 3 people, you will step up because we're a large PSAP, and they'll step up and honestly just have a discussion during shift briefing of, hey, what do we want to do? What's meaningful? What do people want to see, kind of thing. And then just create days and themes off of that. And sometimes it's a dress up, a costume kind of thing, special themes of that. Sometimes it's in addition, not just instead of meals, surrounding meals, and then games throughout the shift every day.
Oh, nice. And I like that you guys give them the option of what they want to do instead of just saying, here's what we're doing.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't work that way. My brain is not that artistic creative type. Yeah. So let the people who are creative and artistic plan it. And it's honestly probably last year in 2022, on the squad I was on, we had the best telecommunicator week probably in my 25 years there.
Wow. What'd you guys do? Do you remember?
Everything I just said, but I mean, they were just the creative people that just had, and people gave their time, effort, energy, and gave gift bags to people. But it wasn't just one; it was like almost every day somebody else was distributing something, and people would come up to me and be like, "Can I store this in your office?" I said, "Yeah, it's just a storage unit." I said, "I don't care. Put it on my desk. You can see it's already full of clutter, so as long as you know where it is, that's fine." And they did, awesome. And they just went in and got it. And, you know, during shift briefing or throughout the shift, they just walked around and gave bags to people, and it had their name on. I mean, some people went all out, and it just showed their own creativity. It was by far the best. So kudos to y'all.
Awesome. I love that.
Aw, I do like that.
Yeah.
So Leslie, what do you guys like to do?
So we got to a point where, we kind of got into this rut of, okay, it's another potluck, and another, okay. And so we decided one year to really reach out to our other ECCs, our support, our PSAPs, ECCs, whatever, all of those people that we would call on a regular basis, surrounding jurisdictions, the SO, the fire department, all of those people. And we did a similar thing like John. We had the, what?
CHP. Yeah, hello. You said everybody else but them. So.
Oh yeah. So
Well,
all
you know,
of the
they're a
people
state
like
agency.
the SO, CFD, CHP, actually, and I will tell you what we did with CHP, but very much to what John was talking about, where we, all the creative types. So for the CHP, one of the teams got together and went to Sam's or Costco or whatever and bought those big like lunch bag size of chips and things like that.
Yeah.
And then, we put a big sign on it and everybody signed it. You're all that in a bag of chips.
Oh,
And
that's
then
cute.
did a CHP website or, logo. We did, somebody got the idea of getting and these are not necessarily expensive gifts. They went to the grocery store, got a bunch of different types of apples, got an apple core, got some caramel sauce and all these things, put it in a basket, and then wrote a little note that says, you're awesome to the core.
Oh,
That's cute.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah,
There was another one where, we got this from our records department and it was awesome. So, the little terracotta flower pots, and you can go to Michael's or, a craft store and get those balls that you usually stick flowers in to arrange flowers.
Mm.
Well, what they did was they got a ball and they stuck different lollipops and stuff in it. And then on their sign, it said, "For days that suck."
Oh my God, that's
Oh
cool.
my
Wow.
God.
And so it was super cool because sometimes, and I'm sure no one who's listening to this podcast has this mindset, but sometimes you find people who are like, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to get me? It's like, it's Christmas time. And, to Joe's, where'd Joe go? Joe,
Joe went away for a second. He's having internet troubles.
But, it's like, hey, this isn't necessarily, what are you going to do for me? It's how can we show support for all of the people that we work with? And so changing that perspective a little bit really reignited how much being recognized means and how meaningful it is to recognize other ECCs as well.
And I just want to add on to two things. One is I think the sayings are just as cute as the gifts themselves.
Oh yeah.
That to me is just awesome. And then number two, we kind of did the same thing. We were co-located with a state agency, police, and the transportation department. So whenever we cooked meals, and dispatch, we cook and we eat. And those two things. So we would just say, just come enjoy. It's on us. Like we've already paid usually ahead of time for the food. So it's like very few people eat leftovers.
yeah.
Or if leftovers sit, we got to clean the refrigerator because the next squad's going to cook just as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we brought them on.
I will say I love John's people that they just went ahead and did stuff themselves for each other.
Yeah.
That they didn't feel like they needed to ask for it. They just went out and did it themselves for each other. I love that idea. Instead of waiting for your department to give you stuff, who's ever creative. It's like I'm in the process of working on like 5 projects right now at home. So I love doing creative stuff for people. So I love that your people did that. Doug, how did you guys?
Okay, but here's the thing. I mean, like Leslie and I kind of almost the same thing. We went out and gave stuff to our allied agencies because all of them are answering our calls all the time. And a lot of times with us, because we're the state, we would call agencies and drop calls to them all the time. It's like, it's high patrol to transfer, and they're like, Jesus, enough. So I know we were kind of causing havoc over there. So that's why I thought the idea of going out and giving it to our peers, our coworkers out there in the field, give it to those other agencies that are really small and have maybe 2 dispatchers working. They need that same kind of feeling of, hey, we appreciate you guys out there. I wish I would have thought about that pod thing with the days that suck. That would have been so perfect for some of our areas that were working really short, and these poor little tiny agencies were just getting hammered with stuff going on. And that would have been so great to do that for them. I'm so mad we didn't do that.
I kind of feel like I want to go to the store today and do that for work tomorrow morning.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You can do it for any job. For days.
Yeah.
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 It is a good thing. But let me ask everybody this question, because I wrote it down as we were talking. Is what about those people that absolutely don't want to participate in anything? do you ever, I mean, those kind of downer people can actually kind of like turn something cool and fun and great into something that's like, oh Jesus, I mean, we're fighting this thing to go.
I just,
feel like
Only if you let them. Only if you let them.
yeah, I just feel like you just have to sometimes push through that and just, I'm going to basically have a party around you. It's your choice if you want to participate or not. Here's what we're doing. If you don't want to participate, that's fine. But then don't get upset at all of us who are having fun, laughing, going off, having a little bit longer of a break because we're out there enjoying the snacks, enjoying whatever. So
that's what we used to have though.
Yeah, and you kind of know who they are ahead of time anyway. So it's not like a big surprise. And it's either they're going to engage or they're not. And it's like, okay. But usually if like, you know, you give a potluck or an activity or a game, okay, they don't participate. All right, that's on them. But they're also not, at least the ones I've run into, are not the one that'll spoil it for everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, just sometimes they're downer attitudes. I mean, I've worked with somebody who's just like that and just very negative about everything. It's like, well, how come they get to go out do this stuff? How come they get, and it's like, you could too if you had a better attitude, but you don't. So
yeah.
You know, and that's the thing I don't like about sometimes about National Telecommunications Week. When I'm teaching classes out there, I'm always asking people, what do you do for that? And a lot of times I hear what Leslie said, where people have that attitude of, they didn't get us nothing. They didn't get us nothing. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's all about paying tribute to this great career we've got, this great job we have. It's not Christmas. We're not hanging up stockings. So it's just important.
Joe's house is. Joe is hanging up.
Joe's already hanging up.
But I will say that, like, in all those dispatcher groups on Facebook, about this time, people are asking for, what can I do for my Center for Telecommunications Week? And let's, like, if you're in a center that's got 15 people per shift, so you're probably working in a center that's probably slated for 75 people. That's a lot of people to try to do stuff on your own. But if you're trying to do something for your shift, that's still 15 people out of pocket that you want to do something nice. So I always like when I see people looking, hey, I'd like to do something for my shift for Telecommunications Week or Christmas, but I don't want to break the bank. Like, I think that's great. And I love those people. And I do want to do a quick shout out because Showalter and Company has started Cheer Throughout the Year page, where we do put up stuff on our website. We do put up ideas on our website, and we'd love for you to put your ideas on there and come to us and ask us for ideas if you have any, or if you have any. I just said that completely backward. Whatever.
More editing.
And fell off the wheel. But yes. So I do love to see that people are trying and that people do want to do it. Like, it's not cheap to do. Even if you're looking at $10 an item, that's $150 out of pocket. And a lot of dispatchers just don't have $150 out of pocket.
Right. But you can still do fun things that don't cost anything. I know at an agency, you know, you print out the buzzword bingo cards. And, you know, different types of calls for service, or you got to enter something in NCIC or whatever. And, you know, each time you get something, you get a raffle ticket. And okay, so maybe you get a free dress day if you're a uniformed agency, or you get to, you know, park in a different space because you want a particular. So yeah, there's definitely some ideas out there that people can do for no cost. Because you're right, it is tough. And especially now with everybody working short staffed and the stress is high, it's like, oh my gosh, one more thing. But it really does change that week, at least for a week. You kind of look forward to going to work and being together and celebrating, like Doug said, this fantastic profession that we're all in. And it's worth the effort for sure.
Well, for Joe, I say in where you are, one of the prizes would be supervisor shovels your car.
That's a good one. And they get to pick the date.
Yeah, be careful giving them ideas. Although I used to actually do that as a coworker, John, for the midnight shift, partially because it was something to do towards the end of the morning where you could wake up, and I would go out and clean off all the cars for my whole shift. So that is something that I have done. But I real quickly for Telecommunicator Week do want to stress that the way we found it to become more affordable, and I don't know if everybody can do this, but our fire department and our chief of police actually would help me out financially for the dispatchers. And between the two of them, they supported the majority of what we did. And then to get back to the negative people, I tried to find a game that we could keep active throughout the whole week, and where they could put in raffle tickets or whatever into the prizes that they wanted to win. Like I would do coffee break and get gift cards to a local coffee shop in the local community, or get a gift card to something all local for the ones that like to read, the bookstore that's in our community. And then they could put their raffle tickets in anonymously, and I had who had what numbers. Then we did a big old celebration drawing at the end of the week. And what I found is that even for the ones that didn't want to participate, they found a coworker who they really liked and would give them extra raffle tickets and say, put into this one. And it actually breeded more teamwork and camaraderie. And they liked the drawings for who would win. And big shout out to the local fire department and as well as the chief that helped support that and make it possible for me to be able to afford all that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's asking the question,
Yeah.
the worst they can say is no, but going out to some of your associations and your officers. One of the things that Joe said, I want to shout out to Doug because we did this for one NTW week, is the pictures. Because when he was talking about camaraderie and teamwork and stuff like that. So Doug, tell us about the pictures that you would post and how that worked with.
Everybody we sent on ride-alongs throughout the year, and you're required to go on one ride-along a year. They'd go out, and in my area, I gave them our little digital camera I had. So they would go out and take pictures of unusual landmarks or things that we use all the time that nobody really can remember what these landmarks are. I mean, some of these things just were never around, like this one thing called wood chopper. There used to be a sign back in like the early 80s of a sign that said, we'll chop your wood, but it's been gone for 25 years. But the officers still use it as a location. So we bring all these pictures back, and then I would ask all the areas of sergeants and stuff like that, hey, send us pictures of unusual things that you want us to know about. So we take all these pictures right before Telecommunications Week, number them and put them up on the wall. And everybody had to identify where these locations are and win a prize out there. And it really was great because it's not only fun, because people are like, oh my God, what is that? It was actually a way to learn the area and say, that's what that area looks like. And that's what, because maybe you haven't been to these areas. We dispatched a pretty large area. So it's something to definitely think about. That was a pretty fun game, and it really worked well for every year that we did it. So it really did work well. I'll tell you one thing. I just taught a class in Georgia in a pretty large agency down there. And everything I was mentioning for like this stuff, they were doing, and they were already doing these things. And I was like, man, you're making my job hard because I'm up here telling you all these things. You're like, yeah, we got that. Yeah, it's right over here. Yeah, we got that too. And I'm like, okay. They didn't have the photo game, but they were writing it down saying we're going to try that photo game thing. So at least they got one. But everything else they were really working on, and they had like one of those trees on the wall where you put up the leaves of people's lives you saved and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's so powerful when you think about the job y'all have, that you're saving lives, and you don't even think about it half the time. It's just like, I really consider it, but it's really that important of a job, and to pay tribute to that job. One other quick thing is, if we expect our officers and our field personnel to donate money or give stuff like that, when it's Officer Memorial Week, we say we need to do the opposite of that and start handing out them stuff too, because it's so important that we show the same support for each other, not just one way, make it both ways.
Yeah, I think
that's how
EMS. Go ahead, Joe. Go.
Hey, Doug, that's how we got them to participate. Is I started participating in Fire Week and everything else in advance, and then they came to us and said, well, what do you guys celebrate? So I think what you just said is extremely important to get them involved, and maybe even taking the first step rather than the second one.
Yep. That's a good thing.
Nice. Well, I guess there's some great ideas for Telecommunications Week. Doug is laughing at me. Stop laughing at me. We know I'm not good at
I just love
hosting.
the silence that will be edited out.
So anyway, I guess we've probably hit about 15, 20 minutes. I don't even know at this point, but we hope you all have a wonderful Telecommunications Week.
Thank you for listening to We Speak Dispatch, sponsored by your friends at Watson Consoles. We're celebrating dispatchers and showing our appreciation by providing a free special gift. Visit watsonconsoles.com/badge to claim yours. That's watsonconsoles.com/badge.